Hello everybody, it's Chris, and today I'm going to be showing you how to take some pants and spread out, take them down over here, find out where that measures, and this ruler is actually 2 inches thick, so I can just lay this down like this, and mark like that. And that gives me my cut line. We're going to take our ruler and we're going to measure up from the hem now. And that measures up 4 inches and a little over. So we're going to say 4 1/16. So we're going to come over here on the other side. See, we're going to measure up 4 1/16. I'm going to draw this. And you can see it already looks funky. At least to just so you can see what they look like to you. Compares to a real hem. I'm going to lightly draw the real hem in. Can you see that? Okay, I'm going to have to darkly draw the real hem, or the fake one. Then we're going to make this dip down just a little bit below it. Trying to make this even. Okay, so I've gotten a little closer, that way you can see easier. And we want to make sure the hems are matched up perfectly. That way we're not cutting these crazy and one leg's not longer than the other. So, after I've done this like a million times and made sure this is perfect, I'm going to cut on the curved line. So let's see. I'm going to take this and I'm going to cut it right where the pants. So we're going to mark where the 2-inch hem is going to be. Okay, so now I've gone through and I've marked all of the hems. I messed up a little bit there, that's okay. I marked this one and this one. Okay, so I had to call for a backup and I had to go and get this big long spool holder here for industrial machines because my brother machine doesn't have something that's big enough to hold the spool on. So I had to call for backup and get that going. And I have this industrial size spool of thread. Looks like it goes on a serger, but I'm going to be using it for the thread in order to sew this back on. I would suggest using your industrial machine or an industrial machine if you can get a hold to one, just because jean fabric is really thick and you may mess up your motor if you're trying to go too fast, or you might break your needle a couple times. So get you a good old heavy duty needle and some good thick thread that's about this color, and match it up to the jeans. It needs to be about the same color, especially because you're giving this back to someone. So make sure that's all good, matchy everything, so it looks the same way it did. We need to put a spool of bobbin thread on here, wind it up. Okay, just a rule of thumb when you're doing something like we said, we want to make it matchy, and the pants are on the seam that they have serged separately. They have it's open when it's going into the hem. We want to make sure we do that, and that's also going to save your machine some trouble, because that way your machine won't be having to run over like what, 1, 2, 3 thick layers of, no, like 4 thick layers of jean fabric. No, 5 thick layers, because we got the back, we got the front, we got the folded part, and we have these 2 layers that are going to be there. So 5 layers of jean fabric We don't want to do that to our needle. It's too delicate, especially if it's not an industrial machine. And the motor may mess up and all these other problems. Just trying to sew some jeans. So, save ourselves a couple layers by just opening this up when we do it. And the other side is going to have to stay that way because it's a flat filled seam and that's how it's already made. So, anyway, and fold this up twice. Up to here, to your line, and then fold it on your line. And then we're going to sew it. We got to pin it off. Okay, now I took off this big plate here, that way I can get access to this arm. I won't have to be trying to move around it. So I think what I'm actually going to do is start on the thickest side, just so I can already be past that side. I won't have to have it be the middle. It can be the end. So I'm going to start my first stitch right in it, and I'm just going to turn this thing on this side, this wheel, and turn it a couple times. And check my stitches. I'm not going to do the shortest stitch. I'm going to do the next stitch. Or not that normal stitch, but I'm going to do the stitch in between, which would be on most machines probably like a 3. If a 4 is your biggest stitch, maybe do a 3. So, where's my foot? If it's not moving, you're going to have to work with it. Go through this fabric. Ooh. It feels like the bobbin's making ugly faces right now. Okay, now I've made it back around to this thick side. And I had to lift up the presser foot to get over it, on top of it, and then let it back down. And then now I'm back on the regular side. Make sure that's down. And backstitch in a spot where you're not going to have a lot of resistance. Do not backstitch here. And pull that, snip, snip, and this is what it looks like on this side. The stitches aren't beautiful, but they'll do. So I got it done, and it's kind of rugged. I don't like the way it looks here though. Okay, but yeah, and they're like perfect on that side. So I've loosened the tension now, and let me see if my stitches look a little better. Last thing before I go, after doing some trial and error on the edge of my my extra pieces that I had to cut off, you can't see that, that's blurry. But anyway, I did some stitches and I fooled around with my upper thread tension. And that made it a little better. So when I made it tighter, this is where it was at first, between 2 and 3. And then I just did one at a time, went further and further until the stitches looked like I wanted it. Then once I got it to about 6, then it started to look right. So fool with it on your pretend pieces, or the pieces that you're going to throw away, the little scraps.